What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy B with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So we're going to go over what the price action is telling us. Basically, we're going to look at the market participants, what they're doing right now, and where price is most likely headed in the future. This is a good glimpse at basically the entire market's belief. So let's take a look at MicroStrategies or strategies daily chart price action. So before I begin, link in my video description below for a affiliate link where you can receive a discount if you use it to get a subscription to TradingView. TradingView is the software that I use to do my charts. Highly reliable, very professional. I use the annual essential version. Basically, it's just the first option because you don't need 1,000 indicators on your chart. Maybe just one, maybe two, and then you don't need like a bunch of screens as well of the chart. One or two is also good. So I think the annual essential is pretty good for 99% of people. So that's the one I use every year. I renew it, and during Black Friday is when you can get even a bigger discount on that annual subscription. So link in the video description below if you guys are interested in TradingView. So let's go over the price actions. So basically, the only thing we can be certain about is not being certain. So the only thing we can be certain about is not being certain, because I think the market is out to get the bears and the bulls like a sniper. So it's going after the bulls, it's going after the bears. It's not really clear cut in the short term of what direction the price is wanting to go as right now. Even though it looks bullish, just in a few days it can immediately come back down to the 240 level. So again, it's really hard to say what price is trying to do in the short term. Long term is trying to go up, as you will see on the weekly chart, but in the short term, it's just not that clear. Even though I wanted to go higher, I'm a MicroStrategy shareholder, but again, the market's not going to do what you want it to do. The market's going to do what the market wants to do. And what does it look like the market wants to do? Well, it looks like it's just taking its time and not doing anything for the past couple of days, even the past couple of weeks. It's not really doing anything. Even Bitcoin, which I'll show you guys in a moment as well. So it looks like the market is waiting for something. We haven't seen any strong aggressive buying. Yeah, we did see a bounce off that measurement target, which was predicted at the 240 level. So this is all one leg right here. You go and clone the arrow. This was the start of the second leg, and then you drag a horizontal line across. That's basically where price had a double bottom at. So generally, we would expect to see strong buying, but we did not see that. We did see some buying, but not strong buying, and now price is just stalling out right at this low $300 level, high 290 level. I need to see price strongly push through this 310 level. And once we see that, I think that's a good sign. It looks like price is pushing through this downward sloping trend line on the daily chart. So you can take this swing, connect to this swing, connect to this swing. So that's 3 touches. We got the 4th touch right here. Price got rejected, failed, came back and hit support, came back up to the trend line, but this time broke through it. And then price dropped down to retest the trend line as support. And now we're seeing price close above the EMA, which is a good sign. Generally, when price starts getting back above the EMA and closing above it, that's a good sign. We haven't seen that since basically late January. So there's definitely a shift in the market sentiment. I think traders are favoring the bullish case, favoring the long side, but we need to see a strong push through that 310 level. Maybe not this month. This month is practically almost over. We got one more week left. I think April, it's do or die. This should not be taking that long. The longer it takes to move up higher, the more likely that we have topped. Because generally in a bull market, especially when a correction has taken this long, it shouldn't take that much longer to rally higher. So let's take a look at this correction right here from the high to basically where it bottom was right about here, 131 days, and to where it took off was about 163 days. Now let's take a look at this correction right here. From this candle to where we bottomed was about 109 days, 110 days. So very similar to I think it was this one right here, this bottom right over here, about 131 days. Um, and then it took, a good amount of time as well to continue moving up higher. 163 days before it started moving up higher. And from this peak, it's going to be about 163 days would bring it right to about May. But the thing is, when a trend is more mature, the corrections aren't going to take as long because it's going to be more exponential. So the trend should get steeper and steeper as it progresses, as it enters the last phase of the bull cycle. Just like Bitcoin, that's generally how Bitcoin works. It doesn't move in a nice staircase fashion every 4 years. It moves in a nice exponential fashion, and then it blows up, and then it moves in exponential flat fashion, then it pops the bubble, and then it keeps on going, right? So MicroStrategy is probably going to be following the same type of personality as Bitcoin. So I'm not expecting this to continue that much longer. I'd say give it by, early April to mid-April. This should be already back up at the 310 level. If not, then it's not the end of the world. It's just not a good sign. It's just taking too long. It's already been a while, and it shouldn't take that much longer, right? It's like overcooking something, all right? There's a certain time or certain threshold where you can cook the meat to, and then after that, it's like burnt. So right now, we're not burnt yet, but we're definitely well done. I guess that would be a pretty good analogy, right? The meat is cooking. It's been cooking and marinating for a while now, and it still has some time left to be taken off the stove. But if it's still left on the stove, then it's going to be burnt, and it's not a good sign anymore. So as right now, this is still looking okay. A break through that downward trend line has occurred, and price has retested it for support. We're maintaining support above the EMA, and this is a good sign as well. This is where being experienced about the charts is highly useful. So look at what happened right over here. I'm gonna draw an arrow right over here. Look what happened right over here and compared to right over here. It's the same price level at 310, but look at the first time price came up to it. It got rejected harsh, right? It sent price all the way to the 240 level. Now look at the second time. Price is back up here at the same level, but we're not seeing the same rejection. So that's showing clues that aggressive sellers are not willing to drop down the price as of right now. So maybe aggressive buyers just maybe are able to continue this short-term rally higher and get back above the 310 level. So again, that's a nice clue when you look at the price action, telling me that aggressive sellers could be getting exhausted and aggressive buyers are just waiting to step in any moment now. So let's take a look at Bitcoin's chart as well to compare it against MicroStrategies and Bitcoin. Again, it looks like it's just pinched between these two trend lines. We have upward sloping trend line. We have a downward sloping trend line in play. It's getting to a point where it's going to break out soon. So I would say by the time you can see, if I mark a vertical line right at the tip, is right about April 1st. So right where the lines converge. Obviously, you can play around and maybe adjust it slightly, but it's just about April 1st. Early April, late March is when price should be breaking out higher or lower. So very soon we should have a decision of if MicroStrategy is going to continue higher or not. I believe it will, but again, it's not guaranteed to do what you always think. Let's take a look at Bitcoin treasuries. MicroStrategy is still leading. I have not added any Bitcoin to the balance sheet just yet. I'm expecting a big amount to come in anytime now for MicroStrategy. Get it above the $500,000 level. Probably maybe 525,000, 550,000. I think 650,000, 700,000 by the end of the year is doable for them. And again, let's take a look at MicroStrategy against other assets, and you can see that the 3-month return, MicroStrategy is actually doing better than Bitcoin, which is kind of surprising. 1-year return is doing better than Bitcoin, and even since August 10th of 2020 has destroyed Bitcoin, right? There's more risk involved, so you get more reward. Compared to Apple, it's actually doing better than Apple in the last 3 months. Again, this could be inaccurate by maybe a couple of percentage points, but either way, it just shows you that these magnificent 7 stocks have also been on the decline in the last 3 months. Meta is holding up the best at minus 1%, but MicroStrategy doing better than Apple, Nvidia, Google, Tesla, and 1-year return is obviously better than all the other assets as well. and better than all these indices as well too. So, and these are multi-trillion-dollar companies that strategy is trying to go up against and outperform. Let's take a look at the weekly chart for MicroStrategy. Got to look at the log scale, so we can include all the prior history. And again, we're seeing nice rejection off that 240 level. I like the candlesticks, how they look. You can see when you see these wicks of the candlestick, generally they're at the bottom of corrections. Just like over here, analyze what happened at the bottom of the correction. You know, see if you could find patterns, right? See how those wicks right here, and then we saw strong green candles shortly after. You know, there was strong green candles right over here. There was also a wick right over here. So generally, you know, you're gonna find wicks, candle wicks at bottoms of corrections. Not all the time. This is why you don't just look at candles in isolation. Just like over here was a wick, and that marked the top of the move. So you can't just do it. You know, you will use one thing and say this is it. That's not how the market works. You have to look at the context, put the pieces together. And again, log scale, looking at the long-term chart, still looking pretty healthy in my opinion. We have this first angle of the trend line, and price has not come back to it, which you do not want to see price come back to. And we have the second trend line, which price came back to, which is okay. So this tells me that the trend is probably still very early, and I think we still see higher prices. So again, if we can see those price targets I envision by the end of the year, let's say this is let's say this is the end of December right here, I think we can cover quick ground in that short amount of time. Let's say you copy this bars pattern right over here. Let's say when it takes off, let's say we bring that over right about there. Yeah, that can take you about 1,600 by September, you know, just something similar to in the past, this amount of buying right over here. And if anything, it might be even more. So let me drag it over. Let me adjust a little bit better. Yeah, so this one takes you to about, you know, 2,900. So again, it can quickly go up. So I'm not expecting, I wouldn't be scared to see MicroStrategy continue to trade sideways for the next week or two, because it can quickly move up higher just in a short amount of time. So again, it still looks pretty good in my opinion. Again, it's just me. It'd be nice to get maybe some other views on it, other eyes on it from other chartists and what they think. But I still think the trend is in play towards the upside. It looks like it's going for a measure move target of about this size, one leg up right here, or this is all one leg right over here. Second leg up, looks like it's targeting right around the $2,200 level, the $1,500 level, the $2,200 level, and the $4,000 level. And looks like there's this long-term chart channel in play as well. So this is the entire price history of MicroStrategy. You drag the swing lows across. That fits pretty good. That basically predicted the bottom in December of 2022. And then you drag it up. That's basically where price got rejected. And this can be adjusted a little bit better. Something like that is fitting the best. So that fits pretty good. Let me drag this a little bit lower. And it looks like we're outside of this channel now. So you see the candles are outside the channel. And this month, you know, it looks like a pretty bullish candle so far. So let's see how it closes on the 31st. Or what is this? How many days are in? I think there's 31 days in March, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there's 31 days in March. So we'll see how it closes in the next week, but most likely it'll close bullish. And again, since we broke out of this channel and we're staying outside of it, which is a good sign, we're not seeing price immediately crash down. You can see that when price sometimes overshoots a channel, it's going to generally crash down, right? Because it's a breakout. Generally, breakouts fail. In this case, it looks like it's holding. Price came back to test that level as support, and it looks like it's holding. So that tells me that maybe we are doubling the channel. So let's double the channel, and then the target would be right around, you know, 2,900, maybe even more than that. Maybe this can be a little bit higher, maybe something like that. 3,000, 4,000, maybe. So we'll see. So I have from MicroStrategy on the daily weekly charts. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.